South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, considered to be in the running to become former President Trump's pick for vice president, is responding to the backlash over a story in her upcoming memoir. In the book, Noem says she shot and killed her 14-month-old puppy named Cricket for bad behavior.
Who names a dog Cricket? Yeah, slightly edited.
Oh, no.
You seen this?
No, I haven't. Cheese crackers. No truth to the rumor that John Wick is being considered as Trump's VP material at this point. All right, folks, welcome to News from the Pew. We talk about stuff, and we're glad that you're hanging out with us. I am your host, Rick Barrett, the Armed Catholic, and I'm joined today by the one and only godfather of all Catholic YouTube and alternative media. And in the process, he's granting us, blessing us with his time, because he is in the process of switching secret bunker locations between one Sensus Fidelium studio to another. In case you're wondering, John is still in Rome, probably helping to pick the next pope.
Yeah, the cool kids are doing something.
Yeah, doing some stuff over there. And Fawaz, like Noah before him, is repopulating the earth. So congratulations to him.
I couldn't believe he posted that. He knocked up his wife.
He knocked up his wife. He's living to his name. Okay, you can't say he's fake.
He was proud of himself. I haven't talked to him, so he has to be proud of that one. The little pun.
Come on, I mean that's a lyrical masterpiece on that one. Yes, congratulations to the Fawaz family as they continue to bring more beautiful babies into the world, and hopefully those babies, we know coming from Fawaz, that they will not end up at Ivy League schools as entitled, spoiled little brats, because I'm sure you've seen across the Twitter sphere and across all these other places, the campus storming Columbia and other Ivy League schools for Palestine. And it got so bad last night. And the crazy thing is, Columbia had to ask permission because there was some kind of weird thing as a private property for the NYPD to essentially invade the campus of Columbia and like go Vietnam style into buildings and take these kids out. And it's been pretty funny watching this, because the campuses, the school administrators were kind of getting annoyed at all this, but at the same time, they have allowed this to fester for years. And, you know, this is literally the left eating its own. So I know people on the right were saying, oh, this is bad, this is that. I was like, just everybody on the right just needs to sit back, drink some tea, and just watch this thing take place. But of course, Steve, that wasn't the case. Republicans and conservatives had to open their mouths about the college campi protests.
We don't believe that everything is just, oh, look at all these grassroots things that just happen.
They all had the same tent. How amazing was that? They must have all gotten the same deal on Amazon.
Yeah. I mean, like I said last week, we talked about it was the Last American Vagabond has the line, question everything. What do we do? Yep. Well, we don't question everything. Knee jerk. Holy crap. Let me retweet. Text it. Yeah. I'm going to believe everything coming from that tube in front of me, even though that tube is only just showing right here. You can't see anything on this side or this side or this side. And, you know, there's, you know, was it the one guy was posted, he was on X. It was a young cat. He was upset. He's in Virginia. Talking about the white supremacists that were walking in his streets the other day.
Yep. That Catholic dude. Yeah.
Everybody goes, do you even know who they are? They're from years ago. I gave him a link from 2021, I think it was. Right, here's what these guys are. These are known feds that are walking through. There's evidence of these guys that are being plants. There's people being talked about that. I mean, if we watch TV and don't ask a question, there's a book called Turn Off Your Mind. Literally, I think that we all do that. If we just sit there and go, click, turn off, and let the media tell me what is belief here. Here's the news we want you to believe. Don't ask any questions, or you hate puppies. Maybe you'll kill a puppy named Crackerbacks like Christie does. Or
Yeah.
It's insane what's going. And then you see what let's never let a crisis go to waste. Here comes, problems. Here comes. We got a solution for you.
The crazy thing is there was multiple solutions because this was rooted against Israel, the country
Most
of
favored
Israel.
nation, yes.
So the first thing they did was they banned TikTok. I've been screaming about banning TikTok and the TikTok to porn pipeline for years. And everybody was like, I'm a free speech. Beep, 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 beep. And then this all happens. And they had a bill in like 20 minutes. They had a bill in 20 minutes ready to roll, Steve.
It was already there. They just needed something it's like, we'll get controversial. It's like you needed another Pearl Harbor, they said, before some month in the September the 11th. They literally said we needed another Pearl Harbor to happen. And then they bring out all these things for your security, obviously. And I have a friend of mine in Dallas who lives here now said, yeah, I saw those things months before that. It's going, like I told people, every time I drove somebody to the airport, at least they're doing it for our security. That makes me safe, even though they haven't done anything. And those guys couldn't get, a job at Walmart. But hey, them rubbing off on your kid is safe as they're being
felt up.
Yeah, I always the loud one. It's like opt out, and I put my arms up and be gentle. A little bit to the right, a little bit to the left. Yeah. I need a scratch right there. I made a scene. I turned into Eric Cartman in those lines. That's why I don't want to fly anymore because it brings the worst out of me. But this stuff is already it's the false flag ideas, guys. It's most favored nation runs the district of criminals. It runs the media. Everyone should know that. It runs the banks. They all know this. But when stuff like this happens, it's kind of like the rubber hits the road. Like that line, P.O., pray, hope, don't worry. People, I know people personally that tell other people that. My wife one time said that to her sister. 5 minutes later, she's all worried about something. Go, what did you just say? We say these things. We know they're here, but when actually I'll use your line of work. When the real bullets start flying, we just lose it. Our brain turns off. We stop thinking, oh yeah, the media, they'll never lie to us.
Yeah, no, they never would because they clearly don't have an agenda, Steve. So they got rid of TikTok immediately.
Oh yeah, TikTok. And did we talk about them? Mostly a United States funded company.
Yep, absolutely.
Blame China.
Now that's been taken care of. But that they weren't done, Steve. They had to make sure that this crisis really just stab the heart of the First Amendment or liberty or whatever you want to call it. There's something called, I think it's the Anti-Semitic Bill Act, the Anti-Semitic Bill Act or something like that.
The Tim Scott Act.
Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, we have Tim Scott here talking about it.
Who was the former senator? Well, he's the senator of South Carolina, South Kakalaki. Why does the bad ones got to come from the best state?
I mean, we're right next to you, buddy. We got Ted Cruz and friggin' John Cornyn, and we're not great.
Well, we had Beavis and Butthead, Nikki Haley and Tim Scott running for El Presidente of the United States of the Banana Republic. I mean, Tim is, you see it, $400,000 received from the pro-Israel lobby. You talk about a job that, what? I thought they were servants. How come servants get paid more than all of us put together? Just curious. But there's a video of him from years ago speaking at I think it was a Catholic university too, talking about his anti-Semitism awareness act that he wanted to get there. So he's all jacked about this. But here's a little background to this. Came out 5 months ago when they first tried pushing this through.
Representatives has approved a resolution equating anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism.
Again, remember, this is 5 months ago.
Sparking concerns among Palestinian right advocates that freedom of speech is at stake in the country.
The resolution suggests that all anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. That is either intellectually disingenuous or just factually wrong.
The symbolic resolution, which labeled ceasefire demanding demonstrators in Washington rioters and condemned the slogan "From the river to the sea," was introduced by two Jewish Republicans.
By the way, that slogan is totally okay if you say it with the Israeli flag on your side.
Republicans in the House to combat the drastic
That's the
rise of
strategy.
anti-Semitism in the U.S. Zionism is a political and nationalist movement founded upon the desire to establish a Jewish state in Palestine. However, it does not represent Judaism, and not all Jews are Zionists. Before the advent of Zionist settlers, Palestine was a region inhabited by mostly Muslims and Christian Palestinian Arabs, along with a small number of Jews. In 1948, following the declaration of the creation of the State of Israel, Zionist paramilitary groups violently expelled hundreds of thousands of Palestinians from their homes and land in a mass ethnic cleansing known as the Nakba, meaning the catastrophe in Arabic.
This resolution ignores the fact that even today, certain Orthodox Hasidic Jewish communities, Satmar in New York and others, as well as adherents of the pre-state Jewish labor movement, have held views that are at odds with the modern Zionist conception.
Calling out Zionism is not equal to anti-Semitism. Anti-Zionism is being against Israeli aggressions, expansionism, and forced evictions of Palestinians from their land, whereas anti-Semitism is hostility and prejudice directed at Jewish people. Critics say the Republican-led resolution is dangerous and is an attempt to silence criticism of Israel amid its brutal war on Palestine's Gaza.
So yeah, that's what we're looking at here, guys.
The resolution is one of several pro-Israel motions approved by Congress since Tel Aviv launched its ongoing assault on besieged Gaza on October 7.
Now, we're not here to talk about whether, the war is right or not right. We're not here to condemn that because Kingdom of Jerusalem. But the fact of the matter is the swiftness at which Congress can't pass anything. Congress doesn't pass laws anymore. This is an actual law that was passed and will be signed, pretty much saying, and for us Catholics, the biggest problem is the one that's we've highlighted is that anybody who says that the Jews killed our Lord and Savior, that's anti-Semitic now. And that's pretty bad because that's pretty much the New Testament. And that's like the New Testament. And that's the entire resurrection. And we even see people on Twitter now who have started to say, well, the Jews didn't kill our Lord and Savior. God did. And people are like, okay, I'm sorry. You're smoking what? You're saying that for real? You really think that's the case? But it also shows you how, and these aren't Catholics. These are obviously Protestants and other, happy churches and denominations. But it will be interesting to see who folds under this new legislation, because this has bipartisan support and this is completely 100% funded and will be enforced.
Yeah, most favored nation owns DC. Here's a couple of guys that put it together. I think it was
this legislation with Congressman Gottheimer, Congressman Torres, going back to last year. And we worked through it even in the aftermath of October 7th. We worked with the White House to get their input on this. So I'm hopeful that when this passes the House today, and it will, that Senator Schumer will bring it for a vote immediately in the Senate. It has broad bipartisan support in the Senate as well, and that the White House will embrace this. We have a responsibility to act. These college administrators have failed. President Shafiq has failed in her responsibility to keep the students at Columbia University safe. We met with her last week, and we said, negotiating with these pro-Hamas agitators is not going to solve the problem. You have to have consequences for actions and conduct. And the failure to get a hold of this campus, the NYPD came in last night,
that's a tough line to break through right there.
Is a failure of leadership. And so Congress must act.
300.
I hope President Biden will embrace this legislation. Every president since President Obama, including President Biden and President Trump, have adopted the IRA working definition. So this is codifying it into law. We are codifying what is already being done, so they should embrace it.
Gentlemen, thank you for your time, and we'll see what happens today.
Hey, if you don't believe that thing about Trump, here's once and future King DJ Trump.
The anti-Semitism, the hatred of Israel by so many people. You go back 10 years, Israel was protected by Congress, and now Congress is just doing numbers that are unbelievable with, I think, a very, very small group of people within Congress, and it's got to stop. But We have to go back to the roots. We have to protect. We have to stop the anti-Semitism that's just pervading our country right now, and Biden has to do something. You have to get the job done. It's a horrible job to do, but they have to respond when they do. When there's an attack, a sneak attack like on October 7th that's so violent and such hatred, you have to clean it out. You have to clean out the cancer, and you have to let them do their job. And frankly, it has to be done fast, because this is not sustainable for anybody.
Yeah, it sounds just like everybody that's wanting just to, hey, there's a, what they call it, a Holocaust going on right now. He's saying the same thing they're saying.
Job has to be done. It has to be done fast. The United States has to get courage, and the United States has to speak up. Nobody knows where the U.S. stands right now. I think Biden is not on the side of Israel, and he's making a tremendous mistake.
I don't know how in the wide world of sports he can make that claim. They've asked the U.S. is on this, has stopped ceasefire negotiations.
You have to clean up the terror that we witnessed on October 7th. But the bottom line is, they have to be able to finish the job. You have to let them finish the job. You have to support them, but they have to do it quickly. And you can't let scenes like this. The head of Columbia should be ashamed of herself. The job that she's done, she should no longer be there. She should be absolutely ashamed, because
I think Steve might have frozen up here, but he's trying to show us something. Again, of course, the reason why he's frozen up is because he's got 9,000 tabs open. But the whole point of that too, it's very interesting to see Trump go this certain way. Not that it doesn't shock me, because Jared Kushner is his son and Ivanka's married to him and she converted and all that kind of stuff. So he's gonna have to have a very specific line that he's gonna have to follow on this one. But this whole thing is just an absolute train wreck. And the Speaker of the House, who's a supposed Christian, Mike Johnson, he's the guy who has been just getting absolutely played left and right by Hakeem Jeffries, who actually knows how to work the entire speakership. Those levers of power. Mike Johnson doesn't, and he's just doing this. Of course, in case I didn't say it before, Mike Johnson actually went to Columbia, or he went to one of the Ivy Leagues, and he actually demanded that the protest be shut down, because that is apparently the biggest thing. And we're seeing right now this attention to any foreign affair, whether it's Israel, whether it's Ukraine, whether it's anything else, while we have groceries going up, we have gas going up, we have home prices. I know Steve knows about that because what he's dealing with going up. And yet all of this money, all of this time, all of this effort is being shipped to foreign interests. And there's a reason why people are attracted to the MAGA ideology or idea, not because they like Trump, but because they see billions upon billions of dollars being shipped all over the world, and these bills that are focusing on the rights of other countries being pushed to the forefront. And yet you and I are pretty much doing the doggy paddle just to stay afloat above the rising tide. And even Trump, who was America first, is now Israel first in this specific scene, this specific issue. The America First initiative is this. That's an Israeli problem. That's not us, right? We want a ceasefire. We're working to have peace there because, like he said, we would have liked to hear what he said with the Ukraine war. I just want it to stop. I just want the killing to stop. I want everybody to stop killing each other. That would be the more appropriate response. Then you have to clean it up. You have to do all this. You have to do all that, because the cleaning up, quote unquote, is going to invite further aggression. We didn't even talk about this. Your U.S. military is building a pier off the coast of Gaza right now to, quote unquote, supply humanitarian aid. Yet when Matt Gaetz questioned Austin Lloyd, the defense secretary, and said, well, will American servicemen be on the pier? Yes. Will they be shot at? Probably. Will they be able to return fire? Yeah. And then Matt Gaetz goes, well, that's boots on the ground, isn't it? And Lloyd Austin goes, no, it's not. And Matt Gaetz is like, why? Because they're on the water? Is that what you mean? Like the boots are not physically on the actual ground. They're on the water, so it doesn't count. These people want war. And the biggest reason they want war, Steve, it's going to boost their defense contracts, right? For all of them, for the insider. And it's supposed to, the theory is you start an international conflict to deviate from the problems at home.
Yeah. I mean, we love war.
It's what we do.
As George Carlin talked about. We love war. War. It's the best thing we do.
It's our number one export. It really is our number one export. So it's
I was trying to find. Sorry, yeah, you're right. The computer crashed on me. It's every so often it just freezes, and beforehand I usually shut it down so it gives a little break, put in timeout, give like halftime because I uploaded for about 5 hours before you and I got on, and then played the kids for a little bit, and then this. So I put the computer. I'm the death of a computer. Some people kill the plants easily. I destroy computers.
That's all right.
I average about 15 to 20 uploads a day. So, all right, here's the Jewish scholar that created a definition of anti-Semitism, and he said that Congress is. He said this was a terrible idea, and that that the idea is being weaponized. So, I mean.
Yeah.
Shows you what the
that's pretty bad if he's saying that.
Yeah. Here's a couple things that are in it. It passed 320 to 91, accusing Jewish citizens of being more loyal to Israel or to the alleged priorities of Jews worldwide than the interests of their own nations. Deny the Jewish people the right to self-determination. Example by claiming that the existence of the state of Israel is a racist endeavor, which it is. Applying double standards by requiring of it a behavior not expected or demanded of any other democratic nation, using the symbols or images associated with classic anti-Semitism. Examples claiming the Jews killed Jesus or blood libel. I have some examples of that. There's a guy that I agree with in a video that showed this to characterize Israel or Israelis, because a lot of the fear is you see on Twitter, the guys, they're going to ban Christianity. That might be an idea that they're doing. Maybe that's down the road. That's not what this is. So I'm always the one who goes, hey guys, let's pump the brakes a little bit. It
may not be banning Christianity, but it will definitely hasten the involvement or proclamation of it. It will definitely drive it more underground.
It's definitely getting the door cracked a little bit, but I mean, like I saw Tucker talked about they're banning the New Testament. No, they're not banning New Testament. It's I don't know anybody that goes up to a Jew because I've never seen any of these images. Maybe it's World War II stuff. I don't know. Drawing comparisons like contemporary Israel policy to that of the Nazis. You could do that actually. You should. Calling for aiding or justifying the killing or harming of Jews in the name of radical ideology or extremist view of religion. Obviously, anybody for that? I don't think so. Making demonizing stereotypical allegations about Jews as such as the power of Jews collective, such as especially exclusive to the myth of world Jewish conspiracy or the Jewish controlled media, economy, government, or other social institutions, which obviously you're thinking South Park's in trouble, E. Michael Jones is in trouble, stuff like that.
E. Michael Jones needs to leave the country. He just needs to go.
So you see where it's going. Accusing Jews as a people of being responsible for real or imagined wrongdoing committed by a single Jewish person or group, even if the acts committed by non-Jews, denying the fact scope mechanisms, i.e. gas chambers or initial of the genocide of Jewish people at the hands of Nazis, spoilers of World War II, accusing Jews as a people or Israel as a state or of inventing or exaggerating the Holocaust. Actually, they're performing it right now. Now, the key thing is this is really, by the way, this was a good one. This is another country that had anti-Semitism laws like this one is the USSR back in 1931. They would kill you, though, for this one. This was in Pravda in 1936. Buchanan has a great line. Descent to the neocon line on Israel or Iraq has come to be equated with treason, which we've known that for years. Rick's favorite governor of his life ever he's my only governor. Him and Rick Perry have been the only governors I've had here in this state, so it's not really choice. Still, by definition, he's your favorite. He's trying to out-Zionist the Zionists by saying it's Jewish American Heritage Month. Rick, how are you going to celebrate Jewish? I just want to ask you, how you celebrate that this month? You have any plans?
I don't know. Maybe I'll have a falafel. I don't know. We'll see.
Where's the TAC Jewish American?
Yeah, there will be no Texas Jewish American Heritage Month edition in this. Well, if people would buy it, I would totally do it.
No, Joey's on. Joey is putting together right now a Jewish American Heritage Month party at Modern Day. I guarantee it.
I bet you. It's going to name it Trans Jewish American Heritage Month Day just to make sure Joey B and the boys up there want to make sure they get all the bases covered. So they just want to make sure they get it all.
Did you notice CJ Hopkins points this out? And Megan, my wife, saw this the other day. We were watching the local news, and obviously because it's local news, they have to be globalist.
Yeah.
And eat bacon. National Eat Bacon Month.
Just the grease. I'm not even eating bacon. I'm just gonna eat the grease.
Can I have a burger with that bacon?
Yeah, just pour it.
You saw all these protesters. They're all muzzled up too. Anybody? I don't know. I'm just a Rona looker, I guess. But everybody that's in these protests are all just they got the form on. They got their liturgical clothing on.
Mm-hmm.
This was already showed this. I thought this was great. I'm not going to play it because you can see what the chant is, and it's kind of like unity. We can all unite on one equal thing.
Yep.
Let's go, Brandon.
That Joey B is an old pervert. So
here's the video. It's going to probably irritate some people, but I saw it and going, you know what? I'm with the guy on the idea of it. You read the stuff, you look at it, you back away from the emotional tweets you see people putting from everything. You're going, all right, this makes a lot of sense.
Congress didn't just make the Bible illegal. Once again, you have a bunch of people embellishing a law, this time against anti-Semitism, to try and claim that Christianity is under attack. Yes, the House bill against anti-Semitism passed overwhelmingly last night with a 320 to 91 bipartisan vote. The law pertains to anti-discrimination laws already on the books, which concern education programs and activities. Yes, it defined anti-Semitism according to the definition created by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, which includes things like using symbols and images.
I forgot about that. Christy, I Kill My Dog Gnome, who's getting attacked by John Wick any minute now. She pushed this through, was it 5-6 months ago? This is like one of her bills too.
Associated with anti-Semitism, including those which depict Jews killing Jesus to characterize Israel and Israelis. No, you are not going to get arrested for quoting the Bible. No, you are not breaking the law for quoting the Bible in normal context. No, they didn't just make the Bible illegal. What the law does do, however, is allow students and school employees to sue a school or a...
That was the thing. When all this was going through, I'm going, this is the Department of Education. How is the Department of Education, these colleges, affecting Joe Schmo in wherever, I'm in Gastonia, North Kakalaki. If, the father's not getting arrested. The Department of Education is a Department of Miseducation, which shouldn't exist anyways. But let's keep this in the form of work that, what we're playing with here.
Workplace who discriminate against them based on anti-Semitism. It would,
like those guys. Was it the Baptist guys, Dareberry Baptist guys? They're a bunch of
Seventh Day Baptist, right?
Yeah, wherever they hate us, they hate they hate everybody. I mean, nobody that's in our circle is going to say, you know what, those guys deserve to have their voice known.
also likely allow students to be penalized for being anti-Semitic to other students. For example, if you're enrolling in a school where the director of admissions found out that you were from Israel and they said something to you like, well, Jews killed Jesus, you would likely have a claim against them for discrimination. That's it.
So like I said, it's I love Joey's comment on Buckley. He would. There was a time, he'd asked my brother about this, we were having one of our priest friends had mass over in the it was in the gym, and we had mass in the historic church. It was kind of funny if you look at it. It was in the gym was the new mass, and the old church was the old mass. And so he made a joke. Oh, because they had altar girls at the new mass. He goes, oh, the sororities over here and the fraternities over here, as in because we were all dudes. And most of the people in the mass that we were in, it was all Protestants. It was friends of my brother that he invited to mass, and other friends that we told come in. So it was probably 70-80% Protestant. And Father Buckley gives a sermon on St. Francis de Sales Catholic controversies. It was epic. If you ever read the controversies, he doesn't hold back on not his hatred for Protestants, but just blasting what their errors. And he didn't know anybody out there. He thought they were all Catholic anyways, but not that he didn't care. But it was I looked at Mike and he looked at me. And we just smiled. They're like, this is incredible.
I mean, that is absolutely just 100% pure gold. But to put a coda on the whole bill, I understand in the short term, it doesn't seem like it's anything. And I know people on Twitter, shockingly enough, are taking things to the extreme, but I never underestimate the government to take whatever, if it's a law on the books in any department, in any place, it will be expanded and weaponized. And it has the potential to be expanded and weaponized at a moment's notice.
Right. Yeah. You put the
nose on the problem. That's the problem, is that it exists. It doesn't matter that it's this, that very wonderful man with a very plain background and all that, whatever he says. Great. Don't whistle past the graveyard on it. That's all I'm saying.
I get that. Trust me. I get that. But we also shouldn't go to 0 to 100 the first day. That's not what it's saying right now. Could it? Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff that could.
It doesn't even need to say it, Steve. You know, they have enough lawyers there and enough people on benches that they can remember the Constitution is not supposed to have an elastic clause in it.
No.
But because of the way it's phrased, it is now a living, breathing document. So it's not even the people now. It could be the people, it could be a Congress, 4 Congresses from now, who have decided to expand this definition. So you and I are pretty much dancing around the exact same thing.
Right. And if we just get to the real solution of it, then it's
which is what, Steve?
Secession, divorce from U.S., nullification, decentralization. You know what? Like I said, I've been texting a bunch of priests this week about that. Going, you guys need to start preaching on this, please, in the sense of not trying to you guys and you need to do this.
Steve's leading the priest.
Well,
instead of the cancel coalition of priests, it's the secession, the coalition of priests for secession.
Well, it's the precision thing. Stop calling this a country, because everyone says, this country's right there. You messed up. You're already playing their rules, their game. You're in their tent. You're not winning. You've already lost. The moment you said this country, the priest yesterday told me that. He goes, this country, I go, Father, you just lost right there. If you go with that way, it's over. You got no way to win. But say they did criminalize this. How hard would it be? It's like Texas. You know what? Go pound sand. Get out of here. Department of Education, you're not welcome here anymore. We've already had candidates talk about getting rid of the blasted thing. That immediately destroys this bill. And it's unconstitutional group anyways. There's no alphabet soup should be in there. But we're not going to do that. Our solutions to centralized problems is centralized solutions. And it's might as well just go over to that wall, pound your head a couple times, and say, you know what? I did something productive today.
Yeah. That really is the big thing there. Trying to get that taken care of. Do you have anything on the Trump immunity? Okay, I know you might have had the video before. Did you have that, or?
Yeah, I got this is from last week. I thought it was a cool video, but
Franklin said we view the prosecution of a chief executive as something that everybody cried out against as unconstitutional. And what George Washington said is we're worried about factional strife, which will
let me put this worry on the table. If the potential for criminal liability.
This is the greatest mind in the history.
Yeah, this is one of your brilliant legal minds here, folks.
KBJ
is taken off the table. wouldn't there be a significant risk that future presidents would be emboldened to commit crimes with abandon while they're in office? It's right now the fact that we're having this debate because OLC has said that presidents might be prosecuted. Presidents from the beginning of time have understood that that's a possibility. That might be what has kept this office from turning into the kind of crime center that I'm envisioning. But once we say no criminal liability, Mr. President, you can do whatever
Joey's got to leave. He's got to get a head start on the Jewish national holiday.
That's right. That's right. He's
you
going
want.
underground.
I'm worried that we would have a worse problem than the problem of the president feeling constrained to follow the law while he's in office.
I respectfully disagree with that because the regime you've described is the regime we've operated under for 234 years. There has not.
Why do they talk like that? That's the crazy. Is it the jab? Is it the side effects of the jab that they all like?
You can't
lower their voice.
You just
I would have taken it. I would, if it lowers your voice to the husky, I would have totally taken it to do that. But I mean,
well, here's your girl Nancy.
That created 9 million jobs in his term in office. Donald Trump has the worst record of job loss of any president. So we just have to make sure people know.
That was a global pandemic.
He had the worst record of any president. We've had other concerns in our country. If you want to be an apologist for Donald Trump, that may be your role, but it ain't mine. And he has the worst.
Anybody can accuse me of that.
It's like, it is funny though that even the legacy media at this point, when they're like, "Oh, he was this," is like, yeah, we all kind of pushed the COVID thing. So I don't know if you can like literally, well, you're an apologist for him. It's like, I literally called him a Nazi 15 minutes ago. I don't think you can call me an apologist for it, but it is kind of funny.
You know, that's probably far cry. She probably did right before Nancy came on.
She probably said, I know one of the other ones, one of the former Republicans that's now a contributor on him. She said that Trump was going to like open fire on the press in DC or whatever if he got back into power. They're just as crazy.
Yeah,
they're just as crazy.
He's Hacho Camacho, Mountain Dew, kamikaze with AR-15s going down Pennsylvania, shooting it up.
I mean, give me Nacho Mountain Dew kamikaze right now. Oh, the nation turns its lowly eyes to you, my friend.
In Nacho, we trust.
In Nacho, we trust. We actually might. If News from the Pew had a store, we probably would have in Nacho, we trust.
Here's the best way. You have Nacho running against Palpatine, Darth Vader.
We're one cycle away from that anyway, so it doesn't matter. So it is kind of hysterical. So Trump had his immunity case. SCOTUS looks like it's going to side on it. But the interesting thing with Jackson Brown is that they don't understand that, you know, within the official duties, because people were like, well, Obama drone striked an American citizen on a country we weren't at war with. And they're like, yeah, but that was official duty, so it was okay. And they're like, yes, if Trump was to do something like shoot somebody in the middle of the street, there is a process for it. It's called impeachment. He would be tried, and then it's not like this immunity thing he would just be like, that's shit. I'm going to go Christian Nome. I'm going to go into this town and I'm going to kill a bunch of puppies. I'm just going to shoot them off. You're going to die. That's shit.
Article 7. President can shoot anybody in the middle of the day he wants.
If you're a white and you're a white there, he'll drone strike you out of nowhere if you're on the watch list. Yes. But if you're in line at Starbucks in front of him and you're taking too long or ordering your cappuccino and he shoots you, now that's a problem
for you.
Right? Yeah, that's it's just the derangement syndrome that is so out of whack at this point, and people have just lost their ever-loving minds. Steve,
what was that line from G.K. Chesterton? As if sometimes your mind's so open your brain falls out. We're in a society that's so open-minded that your brain is falling out. They're playing soccer with it.
Yeah, I'd say not soccer, more like hacky sack, because they're about that. They're not big enough for a soccer ball.
I was never a hacky guy. I'm not a soccer guy either, but I could never hack.
Yeah, I looked at it and I was just like, that's not my thing. Cool for you guys. I know there was people in my high school and colleges, you always walk by them in their hacky sack and you're like, yeah, that's fine. You know,
RG asked that. No, it was the one when it came down was a year and a half ago. It was because you probably seen trolls send out the exact same message, which was something like "blessings, my brother," blah blah blah. He writes like a doggone page and a half of stuff. It's literally anybody that you know probably would never speak like that to you before, and it's copied and paste, so it's on the entire video. And it's all over them. You'll just see that same thing copy and pasted, and they'll use the logo. So I mean, it's happened to fraud. It happened to everybody online. And if you click report, you can report that as spam. So what happened is somebody at Google decided that when someone hit the spam, they thought I was spamming everybody. So that you can get shut down for that. You do unwanted spam like what these guys do. But if you just click on their name, it'll go to a thing with 0 things. So what I did was there was a guy, there's actually people at Google that are fans of the channel, the Catholic guys anyways. And I hit them up and say, hey, man, can you help me out on this? And they escalated it. That's why the channel's back in 6 hours. I didn't know what was going on. When I contacted them, they figured it out. But yeah, if you have to go through anything, you have to click on, is this, I mean, Rick does it probably with guns. You have to click the things that are controversial, things like this. But yeah, that's why there's Spiritus TV. So if anything controversial is up, I stick it there. I play the cat and mouse game. I put it over there, put it on the other channels. Or
YouTube is a great one too that goes on there.
Do I know?
YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube. That's another.
Well, I haven't put up on anything. Now, Odyssey will automatically transfer over. BitChute automatically transfers. Rumble, you have to put up each one individually. Like literally, yeah. I mean, if you talk about joke about 200 things up, if I want to put 20 videos up in one day, I have to make 20 different ones. Right click, place, right click, place, right click, place, right, and upload. Whereas Spiritus, I can just, I think it's 100 limit. I can put 100, click, and it can go descending order. I can put them all at once. YouTube, same way, 15 at the max, 100 in a day. And yes, there's 100 max. Trust me, I hit that max one. But yeah, no, it's still a cat and mouse game. It's less bad than it was in 2020. Because I think Pam has a couple videos up that she's posted up now on other conferences she's given on other channels, and they're still up. So they haven't bled. I took them all down, moved them to Spiritus because I saw this. They haven't rejected it, but they've pumped the brakes a little bit. So yes, as long as you don't kick the bear, be smart about it, you won't get kicked off. But yeah, don't worry. There's not too many priests out there, doing what the Danbury Baptists do. Again, what that video showed, ain't nobody on our side doing what. I've never seen a photo of the javelin being stuck in the Jewish guy or Christ. I've never seen the Jewish guy sticking the javelin in Christ. That's pretty bad. I mean, but that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about. I don't even know if they're talking about South Park. I mean, South Park's pretty hardcore on them. They go after. I mean, Cartman's character goes after Kyle quite often. Are they banned? If they get banned, then I'll say, okay, they're going after us next on that because they do it every day.
Yeah, they do. Well, the thing is, they won't do anything immediately, right? They'll use it to quell the Palestinian stuff, but it is on the books and it can be applied at any time. I think that's really people like myself are saying it can and will be used eventually. And just be aware of it. For me,
you can look at like the evolution of the Patriot Act. Patriot Act was the groundwork for what we had, the Rona Act, and all that stuff leading up to it beforehand. And then the Emergency Authorization Act, and now we got precedent. So it killing, drone bombing people overseas. Oh, we got EOs all over the place. Well, they got precedent now. So yeah, all they have to do is have that one thing go down. They got precedent for it. And then you get nine justices say, oh, yeah, that's totally cool. We can interpret that. And there you go. That's why I keep saying, get out. Hey, in this case, divorce is fantastic. It's necessary. Get out. This is not, why do we treat this as a sacramental marriage beyond our sacrament? We have to be involved in this this union? No. Yeah, it's an abusive relationship that's doing nothing but look at it. I'm still renting. There's 41% of the people polled right now say they think they'll never own a house in their life because it's going. And what they're doing, they're cranking I got a video on that, not the whole thing, but they got the interest rates going up, the housing prices going up. Or the only reason why it hasn't crashed is because the unemployment numbers are somehow extremely low. Once that goes down, the house of cards come crumbling down. They're going after your food. But we're all this other stuff going out. They're going after the food. They're trying to go after milk. They're trying to go after the chickens. Literally right now, there's people going after you on Facebook. Should you need to report your neighbor for canning? And we're focused on, hey, what's going on? It's again, hey, get distracted by this over here. What's TV trying to get you to focus on? These protests that they've created. And here's, wow, we already had this bill. Oh, shockingly, we got this bill passed in 6 hours. Wow, we're effective. We're efficient up here. No, this is all part of some distraction that's going on, right? Hey, can we do some celebrations right now?
Sure.
Let's show the happy MayDay. Here's Berlin. On the second day of MayDay, Philippines gave to me.
Yeah, the communists gave to me.
Yeah, this is Philippines. My first one was Berlin. This is Philippines. Look at it. Just a peaceful protest. Is that what they say?
That's it.
Mostly peaceful protest going on. Oh, we're gonna pretend
we're
killing the
president. Attack you all the humanity.
Istanbul. Blindly firing into the squadron. Did I go out of order? Here's Perry.
Gay Perry. Oh, by the way, have fun at the Olympics.
Yeah. Yeah, they took the cathedral cross out of the poster for Paris. Here's Santiago. I just thought this was fun. It's like, hey, let's check out the MayDay celebrations. I thought, I did not know, Rick, happy Persian Gulf Day.
Really?
Has long been a focal point of tensions, driven in large part by Iran's opposition to the presence of external forces, including those coming from the US and UK. Here in Iran's port city of Bushehr, authorities point to a history of British colonialism in southern Iran during the 19th and 20th centuries as a catalyst for ongoing regional resistance against Western influence, shaping what is now known as the Axis of Resistance. Warm and friendly, every visitor to Bushehr can quickly enjoy the hospitable and social nature of the locals. However, when faced with aggressors, the people of Bushehr show their fierce resilience. They have historically played a key role in spearheading anti-colonial movement.
There you go on. It was interesting how they nationalized the oil industry as well. But
yeah, propaganda is bad here, but that is just like, that's like right underneath North Korean levels of propaganda.
I don't have my Iranian flag to say Happy Persian Gulf Day, and
that's right.
I need to get the American the month of May Jewish holiday month.
Yeah, dude, you are so slacking. That's why they're coming after you, because you don't have the proper sacraments for it.
Maybe we'll do that next time. It'll be we'll all put yarmulkes on and have dreadels flying around.
I won't be doing that.
No.
I won't be doing. They can just haul me to jail. I ain't doing any of that. No. I ain't doing any.
Dreidel. Is that anti-Semitic?
I don't know. If we get booted off the air, you'll see.
I'm pulling South Park stuff out of my head right now.
Right. That's pretty much it at this point. It's crazy how this whole thing is going down. We have time for one more topic. And I don't think you have any of the videos from. Oh no, you did. So we talked about it and we are discussing it now. The Arizona House, we talked about this last week. The Arizona Congress, or the Arizona legislature, as the intelligence people would say, was up in an absolute frenzy because of this 1864 law that said abortions were illegal. And then the Senate, the Arizona House, backed it. Now the Arizona Senate is going to repeal it, meaning that they will have pretty much, they'll be pro-abortion in about 6 weeks. This whole thing, because Republicans will not stand their ground and they will not ensure that this actually will work. They're just going to let this whole thing get they're going to get completely railroaded in this whole thing, Steve.
Everyone coming to you live in the elevator.
Quick, by round of applause, is that a guy or a girl? I'm still questioning that.
It's Pat.
With some legislators.
All in green.
Where the Senate just
I can see it go both ways.
The bill to repeal the 1864 abortion ban. This is breaking news. It went through the House and the Senate, and it will now go to the governor's desk to be signed. It will be implemented 90 days after sine die, which is the end of the session. Most importantly, while this is a clean repeal, what is next after this is we need community action to ensure that reproductive rights come to the Constitution, that we change the Constitution, and that's through the Arizona Abortion Access Ballot Initiative.
And they're going to get
update you all with more information a little bit later, but I wanted to make sure that you all had the most up-to-date news about what just happened in the Senate.
I did not know that people in Arizona were not allowed to have sex.
Nope, not at all, man. Illegal. I mean, if you look at her, why wouldn't it be?
That can be sustained over time. Since Roe v. Wade fell, it has been a real call to action for the pro-life community to step up its efforts to provide support for women facing unwanted pregnancies, considering their circumstances. In November 2022, I had a chance to go on a small group tour to Choices Pregnancy Center. They're a wonderful resource that more pregnant mothers need to learn about. So they have the tools to become strong mothers as they bring their babies into the world. Recently, someone shared a Susan B. Anthony pro-life American door hanger online stating, "Most reasonable people favor limits on abortions. They support limits on abortions at 15 weeks when an unborn baby can see, hear, and feel pain." This November, Planned Parenthood's Arizona Abortion Access.
The Arizona Senate voted on Wednesday to repeal the state's abortion ban, which dates back to 1864.
System's now closed. By your votes of 16 ayes, 14 nays, you have passed House Bill 2677.
The women you're representing, where are they at?
Outside the Capitol building in Phoenix, pro- and anti-abortion protesters clashed as the voting was underway.
Do not abort your babies, women.
Arizona's Supreme Court voted in early April to throw out the state's 15-week abortion limit in favor of the Civil War-era statute. The law provides no exceptions for abortions, even in cases of rape or incest. Without the intervention of the legislature, it could have gone into effect within weeks. Last week, the Arizona House of Representatives passed the measure to repeal, after a handful of Republicans broke party ranks and voted with Democrats to send it to the Senate. It's expected to be quickly signed by the state's Democratic governor. Democrats across the country have sought to elevate abortion rights ahead of November's presidential election. They are confident that public opinion is on their side in supporting the issue, 2 years after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that abortion was not constitutionally protected. Arizona is also a battleground state and is poised to play a key role in November's presidential election.
Yep, and it's not just that. It's not just Arizona, folks. I don't know if Steve has it. Florida too, man.
Florida win on the affirmative, at least.
Well, also
Jacksonville, we have a shared history, you and I. You've seen me lose my hair to chemo. You watched me on the air when I frankly had to vomit between segments. There was a time when I doubted I could make it. Now imagine, if you will, imagine if the government took away the freedom to determine my own treatment. Think of it.
So,
politicians.
That's such an easy question to debate and just absolutely decimate. It's like, so did you ask the baby before you killed it?
Well, we'll just use her story right now. She's talking about chemo. Imagine if if they said no more, that she couldn't do chemo.
Yeah.
Which is obviously injecting poison into your body, which she was totally okay with. My body, my choice. You could say, hey, you're injecting that into my body. I have the choice to say no. The jab. Do you think, did she give anybody in Jacksonville my body, my choice, or did she go after them? I know it's different in Florida all over, but most of these pro-deathers, they're all my body, my choice. No, not except for this.
No.
You don't have.
Well, it was their body, their choice, but except you need to have your body jabbed for me, for my body.
Yeah.
That's how they twisted that around.
And then on top of this, okay, you don't have any other options besides the injection of poison into you. You didn't want to eat we're doing herbs. These incredible things that fight cancer. I mean, the joke that someone put on, hey, I'm going to spray cancerous poison onto my lawn that kills cancer-fighting herbs, dandelions, things like that. Not to say that, just injecting, eating a few of those would have fixed her, but we always even cancel like October when it comes up. Hey, let's fight for the cure. Well, why don't we just figure out what's causing this stuff first? Like, stop eating the poison food, drinking the bad water, all that. We don't eliminate. But yeah, she has a choice.
Prescribing what medicine, for how long, and at what physical and mental cost. Think of how much closer we are to that today than we were yesterday. Because if the government can reach its way into the OB office or a fertility clinic, where, I ask you, will it stop?
Get the fear going.
I can't kill my baby. What am I gonna do?
This issue is frankly not about politics. It is about personal freedom and slapping away the hand of politicians reaching into places where they do not belong, wagging their finger at us and telling us that they know best. We as women should have the right to make private medical decisions with our families, our doctors, and with freedom from government intrusion.
Notice they're
This
trying
is
to
the
get
only
the
time
private
freedom
back.
from government intrusion is a thing.
Notice they're trying to get the private back. That was the whole thing about Roe the first time. Privacy. They're trying to get the private stuff back. But Rick, how many times to talk? They're trying to make it back to a federal.
It's coming. That's the thing. Everybody looks at you and I, Steve, like we are absolutely crazy because we are the ones waving the flag saying, y'all don't understand what's going to happen in 5 months, 10 months, in a year. We got Trump back in office. Great. Trump now supports Lindsey Graham's 15-week abortion ban, which will then be flipped around by the next Speaker of the House, Hakeem Jeffries, and Trump will sign it because he just wants to make deals. And there you go. You got Roe. You'll never be able to get rid of it now because it won't be a Supreme Court precedent. It will actually be a law codified under the U.S.
Wouldn't that be something if Trump puts that law into?
I'm telling you, y'all want to say Trump is the savior, except we got to make deals. It's all about winning, and this is a deal I think we can all get behind. Blah 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 blah. And Trump would be the guy to get Roe repealed, and then 4 years later put it into federal law.
Call us crazy. I saw there was like Patrick what's his face? Coffin had a post out talking about this. Why don't you guys want a federal amendment? You have so-called pro-lifers out there, and Rick brought it up last time. It's a lazy man's approach. Federalism is the only secular solution. You want to fix these problems? It ain't a centralized government solution. Decentralization wins every time. Florida, what she's ticked off about is Florida just enacted, what was it, 6 weeks? A ban after 6 weeks, heartbeat bill. So they're all ticked. Maybe pro-lifers need to start asking these people about, define what you mean by this freedom. What freedom has been taken away from you? And so I did see someone write that on Twitter the other day. I don't know who it was, but it wasn't the big names. It was a pro-life Inc. saying, yes, where's your freedom? Where's your freedom to have sex taken away from? Where was this, Matt? Where is it? What freedom are you talking about that is, being taken away from you? And if you get them to actually say it, maybe that helps. But right now, because all they're saying is those key phrases, words matter. We got to get them to talk about that, saying, what freedom was taken away? Are you not allowed to have sex? Yes or no? Tell me, are you not? Because that's reproductive freedom. That's the reproductive act.
Yep.
Are you banned from doing that?
Yep.
All right. No. Okay. What is it then?
Yeah, I completely agree. And we're not ready to have that conversation. We just want Trump to fix everything, which means it won't be. And that's pretty much what we're gonna.
We got to get the flags. We buy the merchandise. Maybe
Yeah, it's good. Buy the hat, man. Buy the hat. Trump 2024. Blah blah blah. All that other stuff.
It's a great. It's like Days of Our Trump. It's
Days of Our Trump. Yeah. So
he's gonna win, hands down. He's gonna win by a landslide, probably.
I mean, we kind of talked about it, and I know Black Pigeon Speaks, a YouTuber, put this video out probably 2 months ago. The deep state wants Trump to win, and he was like, I know it sounds weird, but listen, if Trump comes in and they say you get to be president, you can do all your domestic stuff, whatever you want. There will be a war in Israel. There will be a war in Ukraine, and we may even have a war in Taiwan. And he's going to be like, fine. All right. And his supporters, once he says it's okay, will just sign off on it as well, support it, and do all the stuff as well. It's the smartest play, which is why they'll allow it to happen.
You're going to get Jack and all those guys going to be right behind him, lockstep, right? Hey, Trump, they don't condemn him for shutting the union down still to this day. Mr. Operation Warp Speed. No buck stops with him. He's Mr. The buck stops with me. Not for those things. He's still the father of the jab. Proudly. These guys were right there behind him. Yeah. Everything that Brandon's doing right now, Trump set up.
And Trump will continue.
Yes.
In some way, shape, and form. Because you heard it already in the first part when he was talking about you got to clean out the Gaza Strip. You got to do that. He'll probably say, this is the thing of my presidency. We are going to bring everlasting peace to the Middle East, and we have to do it through this way. And you know what? Jack Proceed's going to write a 5,000-word essay on why it's a good idea.
You got to support it.
Yeah, and
remember, he always said these guys are his friends.
He's going to write why it's Catholic to do it.
Clintons are his friends. Obama's his friends. All these friends. Hey, it's a different United States of America since 2009 when Barack came in, right? And it's just Brock's in charge of Brandon. Yep. Ain't no way in God's green earth anybody going to convince you to say that Brandon's.
That's why Obama was in England a couple weeks ago talking to the prime minister.
Yeah, this is Barry's third term. Maybe he helped out with Trump. Maybe, I don't know, but guarantee when Trump wins in 4 years, it's going to be just like another. Like you said, he's going to get all the corral everyone on their side. You're going to prove things you do not like, and then comes Big Mike afterwards. You're going to have the Obama legacy for 2 decades.
Now, female Casey Royal fans from Nebraska. If
Trump says yes,
I completely understand what you're saying. Look at the dance Posebik did after the IVF ruling, where Trump came out and supported it. Posebik danced like he was Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future 3 at the bar.
If he goes against Trump, he's not invited to Mar-a-Lago anymore.
And then he won't have his podcast is gone. All that stuff is gone.
His livelihood's done. He'll be canceled. No way.
Anybody in that sphere, I'm talking like that Tim Pool, Joe Rogan, alt-right sphere. The only way they do it, they have their roles. Tim Pool, he's the neutral guy. Like he does the neutral stuff. Joe Rogan is the DMT guy who just talks about stuff. Posebik, Bannon, those guys, Trump. Young Turks, Democrats. Like they all have their spots.
They got a role to play. It's like WWF.
They all have their spots to play. And they all have that. If you think about it, just look into Posebik. Posebik came out of nowhere. The guy used to write blog posts on Game of Thrones chat boards. And then one day he started following around Trump and instantly, by the way, do you know the guy was Navy intelligence?
Yeah.
The guy was Navy intelligence. So he knows his roles to play. And so, hey, if that's how you keep your checks coming in, I get it. I mean, I'm not saying anything negative about him. I'm just saying, please do not put your trust.
It's the evidence.
Yeah, it's just what he is. It's who he is as a creature, right?
I don't know the guy from the Man in the Moon. I just seen what he's posted. Like you said, the IVF stuff. Yeah, man. He should I stay with the Catholics on this or should I stay with Trump?
Yeah.
He stood with Trump. You're not going to get invited back to Mar-a-Lago if you say anything about your boss. So no, these guys are going to go right. They want to bomb Gaza. They will find a way to make it. Hey, well, Trump bombed it better.
They will connect it. And it's interesting. They will connect the destruction of Gaza in the same light that the Catholics who talk about nuking Japan both fit under just war theory. They will thread that needle perfectly.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I mean, if we continue to do this, it's just war because look how many more people will die unless we just go in and take care of it right now. That's the proportionality argument, because if you don't do this or that, but guys, they have they have screenwriters from Hollywood that they hire to write these scripts and the way this thing is done. And so that's, YouTube is not alternative media. It's just another outlet for the machine, for the propagandists, for all that stuff. And so it's just, they all have their parts, and that's just like, I guess Steve and I have a part to play as well here, within our little niche that we're doing, as much as YouTube and all these people allow us to do. We speak as much as the algorithm will let us. So it's just,
well, I would love that she writes about Frank Pavone, former Father Pavone. I would like to see why he is so big. I know some trad priests that are, they are just big time Trump evangelists, and I don't get it. And some of the guys you can't talk to, they will not listen. And it's just like we're bred that way. It's in our heads to be indoctrinated to say you have two people to go for: evil and last crap evil. You're still going to get evil. You're going to enjoy this evil. And we're going to have people tell you every year, every 4 years, well, you just got to take a little bit of less evil. Yeah. You're still taking the evil, but it's good to take a little bit less evil. And that happens every 2 to 4 years. It doesn't matter what happens. Nothing changes. And we just go, why do we do this every 4 years? Yeah. It's always the same thing. You got to vote. So most of
Steve, it's
less
always
your life. You got to vote harder, and it's lesser evil.
It's always the most important election, too.
It's always the most important.
Yep.
Evil is still going to get evil, but this is just less evil. And it's always just less evil. And then that Jordan Peterson thing comes up. How did we get so far behind? Well, you took a little step back, and I just pushed a little bit, and then you're so far off the path now, you can't, there's no way again, decentralization is the only thing. But who are you voting for in November? I ain't doing it. That not non-comply. I will vote local and state.
Yeah.
You don't comply. That's the only way to do it. I wish they could check off a box. Not complying.
You could write in not comply.
Yeah, you probably wonder. Yeah, that'd be nice.
You could. I mean, if you still have the option to write in, you could write in not comply.
Wait, and then look at it. Does your vote count anyways? No.
Mine won't count here, so it doesn't matter if I vote or not.
If it's rigged. Why is it? First off, it's rigged. Second off, it doesn't count. Third, it's an illusion just to show you, hey, I got some control here. I'm doing something. No, you're not doing anything. No, anyways, right. I know you got to run. We want to get to the end.
All right. Do you have a Saint of the Week and a cry room?
Yeah, sure. I'll do Saint of the Weeks. I'm going to go with really Grace, because being really graceful, because she did a video on rental communities. Have you ever seen these things? They're actually popping up all over the place. It's communities built to just rent. You don't own anything.
Oh yeah. I called this 2 or 3 years ago with the housing boom.
Yeah, there's 6 of them in just in this little area, Gastonia. There's 6 of these things being built. You own nothing and be happy.
Mm-hmm.
And these things are $27,000, $3,000. I mean, my first time I rented out here was $11,000.
Yeah,
you can't find anything like that. And even though we live with mice that year,
that's why it was discounted.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they were talking about this for a while with the no bugs and be happy, but that was the only path forward they had after COVID with the housing crisis. Because all the permits for all these subdivisions were pulled in 2020.
Uh-huh.
And when my wife asks, how are all these subdivisions going up? And I tell her, honey, they're not designed to be lived in. They're designed to be rented.
Yeah.
They're designed to be, and if the contractor can't find it, you know who they go to, Steve? Hey, government, you want this for Section 8 housing? You can buy it from me. I'll buy it from me at cost so I don't lose money.
Oh, man.
You can rent it out for Section 8.
There's 6 being built, or new ones being built within a mile of me. And then you got these other ones, these communities just for rental. I mean, Again, you will own nothing and be happy. It's live time. My cry room, I'm going to put the Fed in there because the Fed, they came out saying no rent cuts until March of 2025 next year. Again, the bubble is getting gigantic. You see this. You go to the Venture app consulting and check out his videos. You see these graphs they have. You talk about a fall that's coming, man, it's going to be epic and bad.
And speaking of that, put this into the conspiracy box. Why March of 2025? Because Biden will be out, Trump will be in, and then they'll get to blame the economy crash on Trump.
Yep.
Under Trump,
they need the unemployment numbers to go up, which
so they can say, well, under Biden, we had historic job growth, and now Trump's back in office. Look at the unemployment numbers, and they can just absolutely like set the table for Big Mike, like you're saying.
Just like 2020 was supposed to be. And what happened? They shut down the world.
Yeah.
Not saying it's going to happen in 2025, but they have been talking about climate shutdowns.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, WEF right now. Go ahead and do it. I'll go ahead and do yours. I'll show everyone the World Economic Forum.
Cry room is obvious. Kristi Noem. I don't care that you shot the dog. I get it on a ranch. Did I do this last week? I know I talked about it last. I don't care that she shot the dog on a ranch. Once a dog gets a taste of blood, it's hard to take them back from that, especially working dogs. Just don't be psychotic and put it in a book and brag about it. Because
why'd you put it in the book?
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody would have cared if they were like, "Oh, Kristi Noem killed a dog." She would have just come out and said, "Hey, it was between the safety of my kids, and it was a private matter." Blah 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 blah. If you were on a farm, you understand. But she's out there being like, "Oh, it made me look like I was no nonsense." I'm like, lady, nobody's gonna vote for somebody who brags about killing puppies, even if it was like a pit bull terror puppy. Nobody's gonna vote for somebody with who has shot it. John Wick has 4 films for a reason. Because it was about a guy taking revenge for his dog.
All about that. How many people would still be alive today, the Wickism, if they went for that dog?
Like the entire population of New York would still be alive if they just left the stupid dog alone. So you're not going to get away with that. So that's my cry room. Nobody cares you killed him, but everybody's like, it's a little weird that you're bragging about it. And it's not the flex you think it is, as the kids would say. Speaking of kids,
and go, why was these movies made? The guy killed his dog, so he had to kill literally everybody.
That's really what it was.
On easy level.
My saints of the week are Pi, Kama, Phi, the men from North Carolina, and they are the men. That's going to be the crazy thing. All these leftist liberals thought their picture was going to be the one from all these protests, but it's a bunch of white frat boys holding up the American flag from being touched on the ground. And it's just that kind of return of just a slight glimmer that in our darkest hours, Steve, where did the colleges go? They went to the frat boys and they say, "We need you." And the frat boys said, "This is our moment." And
I'm all for just letting the North Carolina flag go up and just throw that U.S. one in the garbage somewhere. I mean, I know somebody's going to get mad about it, but I don't even care about for the last couple minutes.
It's not about the flag, even, Steve. It's about the fact that men were stepping up.
No, yeah, I get you.
That's my saints of the week.
Elon Musk talked about if you want to replace the U.S. flag with something, you should go to that country. Brian McClanahan puts up the live or die. live for freedom flag. I think it was Alabama's flag. Just like, how about this? And I was thinking that too. It's like, how about the South Carolina one? Can I put Palmetto up?
There's no more beautiful flag in this country than from the great Republic of Texas. I'll just say
it's just a nationalistic view, or federalism view. It's a big deal. Yeah. Here's the WF thing. For days they were putting video. They had a conference up. Just there's no way to watch all of this. I mean, 4 days ago, 3 days ago, 5 days ago, there was that one time they put 12 up in a morning of 1 hour each. It's just unphenomenal. But it's all talking about the digital IDs coming, AI, reshaping food industry, all that jazz. I mean, there's the unelected rulers wondering what they want to do for you down the road. So, hey, garden, grow your own food. It's always you want real prepping. It's growing your own food at the house and being self-sustainable.
Yep. All right, folks, that's it for this episode of News from the Pew. Please like, subscribe, and share the news from the Pew. We'll talk to you all next week. God bless and Viva Cristo Rey.
I was trying to find